Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to your Thursday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Chris Malve, and right behind me, we have a beautiful look over Doak Campbell Stadium. The sun is shining, no clouds in the sky, but it is pretty breezy out right now. We are at 69 degrees now, so more on the mild side as far as our temperatures go. But right now, we're staying dry here in Tallahassee, but we did have a cold front move through, and we did see those showers move off towards the east. You can see along I-95, you're starting to get some rain over there. But for tonight, check this out, folks. We're going to be back into the upper 30s as we had that low pressure system move through. We're going to be cooling off a bit, and it's still going to be a bit breezy. So you definitely want to layer up tonight if you're going out. But for tomorrow, you can expect those same mild conditions, and we're still going to be pretty sunny. And for our headlines tonight, we're going to be talking about how we had some of that rain earlier, but now things are clearing off. We're going to be recapping some of that severe weather. And folks, March Madness has started, so I hope you made your brackets. And we're going to be talking about that on the Sportscast. All this and more on FSU Weather.
Good evening, Tallahassee, and again, welcome to your Thursday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Priscilla Vijalta.
And I'm student meteorologist Jordan Brennan here on this beautiful Thursday. You wouldn't have expected that maybe we're going to have these clear skies, blue skies with the rain that we saw this morning, but that moved out pretty quickly and now it's pretty nice outside.
Yeah, the rain lasted actually a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. It was still drizzling a bit around 11, 12, but then right behind it, bright sunshine, absolutely beautiful,
Yes.
a nice breeze. But we're going to talk a little bit more about the local with Matt. Tell us what's going on over in the rest of Tallahassee, Matthew.
Yeah, if we look here at Doak Campbell, you can see we have a beautiful clear sky right now, so a lot of sunshine outside. So I've seen a lot of people on Landis just trying to get that tanning season in. And you'll see as we go through tomorrow, very clear skies for the most part, which will allow us to cool down into those upper 30s tonight, as we'll just see a lot of clear skies for the most part, even into tomorrow night. So if you're trying to get out tomorrow, it may be a little bit cooler because we'll just have some cool temperatures here, and also those clear skies will allow us to cool down a lot more tonight, which will keep us a little bit cooler tomorrow morning. We'll see some dry temps. We'll see Quincy at 34. A lot of us are sitting at those 30s, as all the way over here is where we saw that cold front start moving through, and that's really dried us out dew point wise. But we brought in a lot of wind from the west for the most part. Perry's the only outlier, but most of the area is seeing winds out of the west to northwest area, as we have some really strong winds for the most part. So if you are going outside, it might be a great time for a little jog, as you got a little bit of a breeze coming with you. Great time to go outside and enjoy it. Today, temperature almanac sitting around our normal averages, but you'll see tonight is where we'll see those winds really pick up, and so you'll have a little bit of a wind chill, but lows in those upper 30s, so a little bit colder tonight. You're probably going to need that jacket and pants if you're walking outside late tonight. And tonight's forecast, you'll see clear skies for the most part. Thomasville is the only area we might see a little bit of clouds. Those northeast regions might see a little bit of clouds sticking around, but that wind and clear skies is something we'll see universally around the region for the most part. Tomorrow, we'll see that sun step right back into the main picture here. Upper 60s for the most part, just around that 70 range with a little bit of wind, as that wind will start to calm down just a little bit. But your day planner starting out a little bit cold, so if you are going to that 8 a.m. like me tomorrow, gonna want that jacket. But by noon, we're in those upper 50s, so you're gonna continue with that jacket. But by 6 o'clock, if you're going out tomorrow night to watch March Madness, have some evening plans, you might be a little bit more comfortable in those t-shirts and shorts for the most part, as it'll be a great time to be outside tomorrow. You can see sunshine, sunshine, sunshine is the story for the most part, as we'll see upper 60s across the board for the most part. A lot of sunshine, looking really nice to be outside, maybe get some tanning in, throw some frisbee, hang out before those March Madness games will start in the afternoon tomorrow. But sunshine this entire weekend, so get outside and enjoy it for your watch parties. But Monday is where we could see those storms really step up for the most part. And then by Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll have a little bit more cloud coverage for the most part, but those 80-degree temperatures will return, so we're looking really nice. But Jack, how has the cold front affected the rest of Florida?
Yes, and as of right now, we can see the cold front has affected us immensely. You can see right now the cold front's actually coming through. Tampa and Orlando, you can see that range about 10 degrees different. That's kind of what we've been seeing and what we've been expecting. Look at this for you, 82 for you in Miami, 84 in West Palm Beach. That is a high point. And then cooling off from that cold front, 62 degrees for you in my hometown of Pensacola, Florida. Now, right now, let's look individually and let's go straight to Miami. 75 warming up very nicely to 79 degrees for you on Sunday. Now, as we go to Tampa, same thing. Look at this, 70, 74, and then a great degree temperature of 81 degrees with no rain at all. If I were you, I'd go out, tan, go to the beach, enjoy this temperature as it lasts. Now, as we look in Orlando, same thing, going up right up to 82 degrees for you on Sunday. A couple clouds on Sunday, but still, the UV still should be great if you want to tan. As we go into Jacksonville, warming up, not getting up to 80 for you on Sunday, but still, what we've been seeing and what we're going to be talking about this weekend is some great sunny temperatures that are going to be awesome for you in Jacksonville. Now from my hometown in Pensacola, you can see just that we talked about that cold front that came through, but we're going to have a steady degree temperature of 73 degrees on Saturday and Sunday with no chance of clouds in the sky for you on Friday and Saturday. Now let's look at the radar, and you can see a couple showers, but overall nothing. You can really see the cold fronts that's really not going to be able to reach South Florida or really even the peninsula of Florida right now. You can see we have a couple clouds, maybe a little bit left of the cold front, but overall nothing that's going to cause any large amounts of precipitation or really anything to be worried about at all. Now, as we go out to the Big Bend and into the Jacksonville area, you can see just a couple showers going off the Atlantic coast, but overall very dry as we go into our evening, so would make great way for a great sunset for us in Tallahassee. Now, as we go into the future radar, again, just a couple clouds, but overall you're going to see great temperatures and some great sunshine Saturday and Friday, and as we go into our Saturday and even our Sunday, which we'll talk about later. Now tonight, our tonight forecast in Florida, you can see we have a couple chill advisories that we could be watching. Overall, nothing really to be concerned. 43 for you in Pensacola and Tallahassee with some clear skies up in the north part of Florida, and then Peninsula, and as we go into Key West, we have a couple cloudy skies. Now, as we look into tomorrow's forecast, overall very sunny, just like what Matthew was saying. This is what we're going to be seeing, sunny skies tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. But overall, this is really all that we're watching around, and I'm excited for the weekend, and I hope you guys are too. So now I'm going to send it off to Jordan, where she's going to give us a bigger scope at the southeast.
Yeah, so across the southeast, we can really see that there are a lot of different things happening. A cold front moved through pretty much the entire region, and where you are kind of depends on what weather you're seeing. So right here in Richmond and Tampa, you're getting that rain from the remnants of the cold front continuing to move through, but down here in New Orleans and then up in Charlotte, that cold front hasn't quite gotten to you yet, so you're still in the clear there, and you can see that really with the temperatures that they are dropping. So we're seeing temperatures up in Nashville at 45. Not quite as cold down there in Miami, so we're seeing 82. But in general, across the southeast, we're definitely feeling a little bit cooler and definitely windy. While the storms moved through and the clouds moved out, the wind moved in. So we can see here in Tallahassee, 22-mile-per-hour winds. It is really breezy out there. Definitely one of those days where you might want to put your hair up because you don't really want it to be blowing around. And if we look, you can see again that cold front is pushing off here to the Atlantic, so that's what brought those few showers down in Tampa and up here, but then just continuing into the weekend like we were talking about. The story really is just how beautiful it's going to be until we start to see changes late Sunday going into Monday. That's when our rain chances might start. But for your Friday and your Saturday, most of your Sunday, you're really just going to be enjoying this beautiful weather, maybe a few clouds, but it is just looking so nice. But one big thing to be on the lookout for is how dry it is going to be. Our dew points are getting really, really low. We can see that down here, even in Florida, we're getting those really low dew points, which is going to be important because there have been watches issued for fire weather. So with those low dew points, it's really dry in the air, and there are concerns we're seeing now and going into the weekend possibly about the fire because of those dry dew points. But if we're up in Charlotte, you can see the temperatures drop down to 65 on Friday after that cold front moved through. But then for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it's looking beautiful. Monday, that's when you're going to see that chance of rain. Nashville, it's kind of a similar story. So you see those colder temperatures starting here on Friday and then Saturday. And since Nashville's a little bit to the west, you're going to see those storms move through on Sunday and then just keeping a pretty steady temperature all throughout. Tampa, you're going to be again seeing that beautiful, beautiful weather all throughout the weekend. That system is going to be missing you, so it's just going to be warm and sunny out there. And finally, New Orleans, I'm happy to see this. I'm going to be there this weekend. We're just looking at really nice and sunny, warm weather up until Monday when you see that chance of rain. But this cold front has really affected the southeast, so Priscilla's going to show us a little bit more about how the weather's going across the country.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. And across the country, within the last couple of storms we've had, it's really changed a lot of our weather patterns. We're seeing our temperatures dipping from the east coast all the way to the west, which I know I'm trying to enjoy that last little bit of winter before springtime really sets in. And just to remind you all, today is the first day of spring. So we have those nice temperatures, but along with that, we also have these very low dew points. So that's associated with all of that dry air, and it's definitely really dry over in the southwest Albuquerque at -6. So just imagine how bone dry that is. But we are seeing some moisture over on the east coast, but that's going to make its way out as we go into the next couple of hours with that storm system pushing off of the Carolinas. But overall, we do have a couple of snow showers in the northwest, but nothing too crazy. And then we do have those storms behind me in the northeast, and that's just bringing a little bit of rain to the Carolinas and mid-Atlantic states as well as the northeast. But nothing too severe from those storms, thankfully. But along with our surface map, we've got this front making its way over in from the western coast, and we have that other front that just made its way out, so that's bringing us all of that dry weather. So enjoy those nice conditions while we can. And for your SPC storm outlook, the next couple of days for the risk of severe weather, honestly, pretty good. We've got a marginal non-severe risk in areas of Montana as well as mid-Atlantic states, North Carolina, South Carolina, and into parts of Virginia. So associated with that, we might just see a couple of thunderstorms, but not really too many strong winds or hail or risk for tornadoes. So again, into tomorrow, we're seeing that risk more so in Washington as well as parts of Iowa and into Illinois. So keep that in mind if you're in those areas. We are seeing that risk ramp up just a little bit into day 3 on Saturday. So if you have any weekend plans in these areas in Missouri and Arkansas, as well as Oklahoma, definitely keep that in mind and plan around that so you can make sure to stay safe. For our active alerts, we're a little busy, but it could be worse. We do have a lot of red flag warnings, and again, all of that dry weather and those heavy winds are really contributing to the risk of fires spreading. So we're seeing that a lot, mostly in the southwest. We've got a couple of winter weather warnings in the northwest as well, associated with that snow, mostly in those mountainous areas. But as we go to the east coast, we're seeing parts of Alabama and Georgia are under a frost and freeze advisory and warning. And as well, look at those strong wind advisories. So keep that in mind if you're in those areas. But rainfall totals aren't anything too crazy. We're seeing just under 2 inches, maybe getting around to 3 to 5 in parts of Seattle. But on our eastern coast, mostly staying under 2 to 3 inches. So great conditions and really not too much rain to worry about. Snowfall as well. We're just seeing roughly about anywhere from 5 to 12 inches of snow, but nothing too bad for the next couple of days. Temperature outlook, we're going to be above average on most of the west coast, and it's going to stick heading into the next week as well. But tonight it's going to be pretty chilly. We're seeing a lot of our temperatures 30s and 40s and even into the 50s in parts of South Florida. But tomorrow into the afternoon, it's going to be chilly in the northwest and hot in Texas. And as for the rest of the U.S., we're staying pretty moderate. So great day for that start to spring. But Jack and Jordan, I heard we're discussing some tornadoes. Tell me about that.
Yes, so what we just talked about is this weekend we had some devastating tornadoes that came across the U.S. from a cold front, just like we saw today, but this one was very intense and very devastating.
Yes, there were 105 confirmed tornadoes so far associated with this outbreak that happened over the weekend, 3 of which were EF4, so rated really high.
Yes, and as of 3:14, an EF4 in Stone/Izard County with 170 mile per hour peak winds went on a path of 45.9 miles.
And then again, on the 14th, we saw one in Independence in Jackson County, Arkansas, where we got really high up there with those wind speeds. 190 miles per hour was the peak wind in this tornado, which lasted for 18.6 miles.
Yes, and then another one we saw that went across the next day in Louisiana, Mississippi, an EF4 tornado with speeds up to 170 miles per hour, and their path was 65.2 miles. I mean, I don't know about you, but these tornadoes are no joke. Make sure you pay attention to the National Weather Service. Get your alerts via phone. Just be prepared because this is spring and this is the start of severe weather month. So.
Yes, it is definitely the time where you just really need to stay weather aware and just kind of know what is going on out there.
Yeah, so now I'm going to send it off to Matthew, where he's going to give us a little brighter tone without the sports.
Yes, with that March weather here in Florida, it means March Madness is here, and it's been a rough day for America for the most part. Only about 1 million brackets remain perfect. I have 2 of those. That won't last very long, but about 16,000 people have 0 predictions right now that have gone correct for them, so it's been rough for some people. But the second window is starting here very shortly. We'll see Tennessee at Warford. It'll be, well, not at Warford, but it'll be in Kentucky, so it'll be really nice. Temperatures will be sitting just around that 40-degree mark. A lot of cloud coverage, but maybe those Volunteers will make it raining from the 3-point line. We'll see Arkansas and Kansas, very cloudy once again. That could be a really tough matchup as both these teams have underperformed, but maybe that big man from Kansas will be the deciding factor for them. In Texas A&M and Yale, the Ivy League school versus Texas A&M, a little bit brighter as we'll have a little bit more sunshine to start, but we'll be sitting in those mid-50s for the most part, starting to get down into those lower 50s by the end of game time. But maybe Yale will come up with a big upset, as we've just seen one big upset already today with McNeese over Clemson. Very big, destroyed a lot of brackets, unfortunately. But Drake will be playing Missouri, and we'll see it start out in the upper 50s, and then we'll get lower into those lower 50s for the most part. So great time to go enjoy these games for the most part, as the weather will be really stagnant, I would say, for the most part. We'll see that here, as weather will only change about by a degree. A little bit more cloud coverage to start, but by the end of the game, maybe those clouds will clear out just a little bit. But Utah, UCLA, a little bit of a later game to watch, but we'll see St. John's here starting in the mid-40s for the most part, and we won't change any bit. But hopefully by the end of the game, that score won't be 0-0, as hoping for a really good game there. And then another big upset potential here as UC San Diego versus Michigan. Both teams really fighting for something. And we'll see one more here with Texas Tech. Can they pull out a big victory for the most part? But Chris, for those who are not watching March Madness, what does the lifestyle look like?
Well, as you can see clearly by our live cameras, you can expect some picture-perfect clear skies here in the Big Bend region. Looking over a sportsplex, I mean, just look at that sunset. Phenomenal time to be outside. But even though we're seeing those clear conditions, we're still feeling very cold, especially if you're planning on going to walk your dog tomorrow. We're going to be starting at 40 degrees, so you definitely want to bundle up tomorrow. Good news is we should warm up a little bit to 53, but it still might be chilly for some of you, so you definitely want to keep a jacket with you tomorrow. But looking over at our beach camera right now, a beautiful view just of our coastline there. We're at 69 degrees and just really perfect conditions to be outside. Maybe if you're into stargazing, also should be very good tonight, as we'll be seeing those just clear skies. It's a perfect time to be outside, and because of that high pressure sitting over the region, we don't have any delays at our airports, which is good news. But unfortunately, if you're at New York JFK right now, we do have some high delays right now. That's because of that rain that we're seeing in the area, but everywhere else, perfectly clear. And over our sportsplex, very clear conditions. Maybe if you're playing some IMs tonight, it will be a little bit breezy, but still very nice at 69 degrees. Or maybe if you're going clubbing tonight, might cool down a little bit, so definitely layer up a little bit. But overall, just great conditions for tonight. Make sure to soak up this very nice weather, but be prepared because it will be a little bit chillier tomorrow. But great weather these next few days. again, just a little bit chillier to start your weekend, but we will be warming up to 77 and it really just into the higher 70s by Sunday. But folks, make sure to bring your jackets and your umbrellas on Monday because here's our next rainmaker. We do have a 60% chance of some showers and thunderstorms, so make sure to be weather aware and just really prepared for that rain as that next front moves through our area. But Priscilla, what does the rest of the area look like?
Yes, thank you, Chris. Rest of Tallahassee is pretty gorgeous right now. We've got that beautiful sunshine right behind Doak Campbell Stadium, currently upper 60s with lots and lots of sunshine to go around. And it is pretty breezy as we've talked about today. Currently winds are out of the northwest at 22 miles an hour, and those are not your gusts. That is your steady wind. So definitely pretty breezy. If you're going out, you might not want to wear a hat because you might lose it. But for the future radar, not a cloud in sight. All those storms, we finished with them this afternoon, so we have a nice clear couple of days to look forward to. And across the region, our current temperatures mostly sitting in the mid-60s, even just a little bit warmer over in Perry and Live Oak, dipping into the 70s, but overall nice and moderate, and honestly not really chilly. I think personally 60s are kind of the ideal temperature to go about your day, but with those nice dip in temperatures, we also have that dip in dew point. So it's got a bit drier, you're gonna feel it just a little bit, but hopefully you won't really need too much chapstick or moisturizer because this is relatively pretty moderate. So we've got 37 in Tallahassee, even reaching 40 by Apalachicola, but it could get drier heading into the next couple of days, so keep that in mind. And boom, let's take a look at our current wind maps. So here in Tallahassee, 22 miles an hour, even 21 in Apalachicola, as well as 20 in Panama City. So we've got all of that wind coming in from the west and really just blowing things around. So you might have an extra couple of leaves in your driveway, but nothing to worry about. Hopefully we won't really see any downed trees with this. But taking a look at our temperature almanac, right on point for your average today. It's 75 degrees. What an absolutely beautiful temperature. But our low, they're starting to dip a little bit, 58, but we are off from our average low of 49, just by about 10 degrees, but it's going to get a lot cooler heading into tomorrow. Into the overnight hours, it's going to get down to 39, so really it's going to get cold pretty fast, and it's going to stay that way into the morning hours, but it will warm up, and into Saturday and Sunday as well. We still have those breezes at 13 miles an hour, so it'll slow down a little bit, but it'll still be pretty breezy. And for the rest of the region, we're mostly seeing those upper 30s, even dipping into the 40s, but it's going to be pretty chilly, so make sure you're prepared for that if you have any plans into tonight. And tomorrow, it's going to get, again, similar conditions to today, upper 60s with just a slight breeze, and that wind is really going to slow down as well, but definitely lots of sunshine to go around. And again, like I said, it's going to take a little bit for it to warm up into tomorrow afternoon, 6 p.m. reaching 67, and into tomorrow, again, upper 60s. But check out that week ahead. We've really got that rainmaker on Monday that we're looking for, but otherwise, lots and lots of sunshine with a couple of clouds into next week. And now Chris and Matt are going to close out the show for us. It was a great day today, guys, wasn't it?
That's right. It was just the perfect day. Great first day of spring and also a great start to March Madness. Unfortunately, my bracket kind of already busted a little bit. I predicted that Clemson would win. They did not. Well, unfortunately, you can't win them all.
Yes, I would agree with that. Even though I have some brackets that are doing really well, the ones that actually matter have just been very bad for me so far. But the weather has been the complete opposite. Really nice day to get outside. I was able to just stroll around campus. It was just really nice to be outside for a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, just picture perfect weather. I mean, no clouds in the sky. It was kind of nasty this morning. We just had those showers move through the area, but I mean, the rest of the day was phenomenal. We had beautiful weather to finish out the day and to start the weekend, but we'll be a little bit stormy looking towards next week, but make sure to enjoy that picture perfect weather while we have it. And also be sure to follow us on X at FSU Weather.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook as well at FSU Weather.
Follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe as well at FSU Weather.
And be sure to check us out on TikTok at FSU Weather.
And we're going to give you one last look at the 7-day forecast.